Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to have a special highlight to talk to you guys about stream nets, and hope you guys at the end of the video learn something from it. So in this video I'm going to talk about the nets, and you can see that there are nets being laid out, and for this episode I actually needed a wide angle lens, and I'm using this trusty wide angle lens on the camera, on the phone camera. So I think it is becoming difficult to ignore the fact that this topic on StreamNet is often very overlooked and often undermentioned. So I wanted to talk to you and share the knowledge about this very normal net that we have today that we use to catch our streams. The reason I say this is because most of the time hobbies will get any net and use it for ages. I am one of them, and until I met a craftsman who specialized in the stream net and have been customizing more than thousands of stream nets for hobbies, some very reputable hobbies and breeders as well. So I got very intrigued to learn more about why stream net differs so much compared to the normal aquarium nets. So I was lucky to be introduced to this net craftsman in Taiwan, and learning from him I have understood the importance of how the net should be designed the way it is. So I wanted to share with you on this aspect. So in our aquarium hobby, in this stream hobby, as you can see, some of my tanks are not customized exactly the same. Some are higher, some are smaller, some are taller, some are shorter. So no two hobbies have the identical setup. So it is important to have your net customized to your usage so that you can actually use the net without having to wet your hands or dip your hands into the tank. So for example, over here, you can actually take a look. Just 1 second, let me put on the wide angle lens. You guys can actually see better. Okay, now we have it. So you can see this net is actually customized for this tank. So the bigger tanks that I have, from up here. So when I have all these longer nets, I actually don't have to put my hand in there. But let's say if I use a shorter net, then I have this one is still bearable. These are 40 cm, and the longer ones are 45 cm. So get a slightly longer than the height of your tank net. The reason being is that the angle where you want to reach the far end, for example, if you want to reach the far end of the tank, then look at this. This net is too short if I want to reach the far end. So I will get my hands deep inside the tank. So it's not something that you want. So what you should do is that you should customize based on the length at the diagonal angle of your tank. That way you can actually still scoop it, or you can actually reach further in and do it. But for the shorter net, you are not able to do it. So that's tip number 1, customize your length of your net. Or so for this hobby, tanks are different, everything must be customized. If you get a standard tank across your stream room, then it's fine. Then you can actually get one type of customized net length that you want. So I actually customize all my nets. I have, as you can see, a variety of nets over here, from short ones to very long ones. And the second thing I want to talk about is the net material. Okay, so the net material is important. So I'm going to take a much shorter net over here. You can take a look at this. Wide angle lens. Okay, zoom in. So as you can see, the net material, it must have a low drag, or it has to be easy to move around in the water. So that is the shaft over here, the shaft. And of course the holes of the net has to be kept small. So all these nets have to be kept small, but not too small because it will be difficult to maneuver the net in the water. So the reason for these small holes in the net is actually prevent the stream legs or from entering into the hole. For example, if a rostrum gets stuck in the hole of the net, the bulb-like structure could be difficult to dislodge, and and it could harm the stream. So the net has to be small enough, the net holes has to be small enough, but not too small that it creates too much drag, so that it becomes it becomes too difficult to actually scoop your stream in the tank. So it has the ability to move freely in the water without too much force. So that's point number 2. And of course the net handle needs to be light for ease of use. Right? Okay, so the third one is what I've learned is about caring of your net. How do you care for your net? So I learned it is important to keep the net dry after use. So after you use it, you wash it, and then you kind of shake it dry, and then you hang it to drip dry. So for example, for those people who live in Southeast Asia, where we live in very humid conditions like in Singapore, your net wouldn't last very long before the net become very soft. This is when the net becomes very soft, it is actually advisable to change. One of the reasons is because when you try to scoop the net and you try to move it around too much, or you try to move it out, it doesn't. And when you net too many at a time, it actually at some point of time you will kind of like crush it as well. So this will, for me at least, what I'll do is that once the net gets soft, I will change it, and it is far easier and less stressful for the stream when the net material is stiff. So when it's very stiff like this, and it's still very stiff, it is very easy to allow the stream to actually enter and exit. If it becomes too soft, when you actually scoop it up, and it sacks a little bit, and then after that you try to put it back into the water, sometimes it creates a crease and then it folds like that. It's not, things can happen, accidents can happen. So net 2 also have an expiry date, and that's when it becomes too soft and limp, and I will have to change it. So these are the three things that I have learned from the Craftsman. So let me summarize. Number 1, you've got to customize the length to your own tank size. You can say that you want to use telescopic as well, but that's fine. But I prefer to use something like this so that it's much more durable, long lasting. And number 2, the net material must be, for this is carbon fiber. The rod is carbon fiber and nylon net over here. And of course, number 3 tip, that will be the care of your net. So these are the 3 pointers that I wanted to share with you guys today about net. And as you can see, there are different colors of the net. You should probably customize to whatever colors that you like. So for example, in this series we have green. I think this is one of my favorite colors. And then we also have black. Black is also very nice. It's very sleek, and it's very good for catching streams that is bright in color, so that you can actually see them in the net and you can actually take a video. Maybe I should just give a demo and let you guys see some of this. Let's see over here. This, and as you can see, it enters the water. As it enters the water, and over here, just slowly get through it. Oh, went out. You can actually see right here. So different net will probably give you a different perspective and a different coloration to the stream. Take a look at that. So as you can see, for this, the colors actually quite the same, the green and the blue. So it's up to personal preference. So I really like. So as you can see, this net is time for it to be replaced. You can see when I lift it up, it has sag a little bit. It's starting to sag a little bit already. So I'm going to change this out. And then for the smaller nets, actually these smaller nets, like in the unboxing video, I actually love using these smaller nets. In the past, the O-ring over here, it's small. I told the manufacturer, the craftsman, to actually change it to a much larger ring one. So as you can see, these are the much larger ring ones. So they can now fit into those S-hook or those magnetic hooks that you can find in your local hardware store. It actually helps a lot, and now it's also they are using a better quality, it's a rust-proof type. So this is a tiny net. So what is its usage? Actually, this tiny net has one of the best usage for emergency cases. So one of the things I accidentally discovered is this net is very good for catching streams that has, drop on the floor or jump out of the tank or something. The reason is because it is much closer to the floor, and you are able to actually guide the stream back into the net much easier. If I'm going to use a long net, of course I can do that, I can do that, but it's quite difficult for a long net. If I have a short net like this, usually when, let's say, a stream accidentally jump off and you try to get it back, it's very difficult. So I use this as a savior net. So all I have to do is I wet it, and I position this net on the ground where the stream is, and the tail end has to be here, and you can slowly guide it through. And because of the natural reaction of the stream, as you guide it through, it will jump backwards, and it actually goes right into the tank, right into the net, at this angle. So this, when I hold it this way, I have lesser resistance. It's a very good net for me. So I accidentally actually discovered this method because I customized this net actually for my son, for him to play around, because he likes going into my tanks with all the nets and trying to stir the soil. So I actually customized one of these for him, but accidentally I realized that this actually comes in very handy. It's very short net. So I don't think there is any ready-made short nets in the market like this, and with the same cost, regardless of its length, I really don't mind spending a few dollars getting the net for my stream, for cases like stream jumping out. So yep, I think that's about it for today, and thank you for watching, and have a great weekend.